Hello, I'm attorney Becky Moseley. I'd like to talk with you today about two new orders that help prevent people from being evicted from their homes during the coronavirus pandemic. In this video, I'll explain each order, talk about what tenants need to do to qualify for protection from eviction, and share where you can find other helpful information, including rent assistance programs in North and West Texas. Earlier this month, the Center for Disease Control and Prevention, or CDC, issued an order, also called a moratorium, to temporarily stop evictions through the end of this year. The order is in effect from September 4th through December 31st, 2020. The CDC moratorium was put in place to prevent homelessness during COVID-19. So the order protects tenants who meet some financial and some non-financial requirements and who complete and sign a tenant declaration form stating that they're covered by the order. The CDC order says that those tenants who are protected cannot be evicted for being behind on rent. To qualify financially, a tenant must expect to earn no more than $99,000 in annual income during 2020. Or, if filing a joint tax return, expect to earn no more than $198,000. A tenant also qualifies if they were not required to report any income in 2019 to the IRS, or if they received a stimulus check or payment under the CARES Act. In addition to those financial considerations, a tenant must meet all of the following requirements to be covered by the CDC order. Have at least one household member who has suffered reduced employment hours or reduced income, have made their best effort to pay partial rent, have made their best effort to get rental assistance that's available in their community, be unable to rent elsewhere. So if evicted, would become homeless or would have to live with others in crowded conditions. And lastly, acknowledge that they still owe the portion of the rent they cannot pay, as well as any late fees and penalties according to their lease agreement with their landlord. If you are a tenant who meets these conditions, you must complete and sign a tenant declaration form, which states that you agree that you meet all the requirements listed in the document. Also, each adult named in the lease must sign a tenant declaration themselves. It is extremely important to understand the declaration is a legal document, and you must not sign it if you do not meet the requirements. Someone who files a false declaration may face civil or criminal penalties or both. If you qualify, like we've discussed, and you have completed and signed a declaration, you must deliver the declaration to the landlord or to a person who may have the legal right to evict you. You can submit this document by mail, email, fax, or personal delivery, but it is important to make sure to get proof of delivery. You can get this proof by making a video recording with your phone of in-person delivery or mailing the document using certified mail and getting a receipt. However you deliver the declaration, be sure to keep a copy of what you sent and the proof of delivery in a safe place. You may need to show this later to a judge or constable. Now that we've talked about the CDC order, you know a tenant must sign a declaration to be protected. However, not everyone knew how to get a copy of the declaration that needed to be signed. On September 17th, shortly after the CDC moratorium went into effect, the Texas Supreme Court issued an order that makes it easier for tenants in Texas to comply with the CDC order. The Texas Supreme Court's order requires tenants to be served with a copy of the tenant declaration form, along with any eviction citation that's issued to a tenant. The Texas Supreme Court order also clarifies that an eviction against a tenant who has signed and delivered a CDC declaration can only proceed if a landlord contests the CDC declaration and a hearing is held about the declaration, so long as the tenant has filed a copy of their declaration with the court. So, if you give your landlord a declaration and they file for an eviction anyway, you need to make sure to give the court a copy of the declaration you gave your landlord. Even if an eviction has already been filed against you, you can still be protected if you sign and deliver a declaration to your landlord and file a copy with the court. As I discussed, to be protected, a tenant has to have made his or her best efforts to get rental assistance that's available in their community. There are many places to look for rental assistance, including charities, churches, and government programs. To find out more on where you can look locally, you can visit our website at www.landwit.org and click on COVID-19 resources. There you will find more about the CDC moratorium, including the Tenant Declaration that you can print and sign, along with rent assistance programs. You can also visit www.texaslawhelp.org for more information and resources, especially if you are not located in North or West Texas. If you want to know more about this order or have questions about the declaration, you may contact Legal Aid of Northwest Texas through our Centralized Intake and Advice Hotline, Monday through Friday at 1-888-529-5277, or visit our website again, www.lanwt.org, to call an office near you. Thank you.